Hey there, happy Thursday. It's Tisha back with another Tisha Talks Live solo edition. And today I am talking about something that I heard just yesterday in a masterclass that I was in. And it's this topic of the answer is in your past. And I wanted to unpack this because I'm wondering if maybe a lot of people that may be watching are probably in that same boat of what's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? And I want to share just a quick story of how I truly believe that the answer is in your past. So I'm going to dive into that in just a second. But before we get going, Tisha Talks Live is a series I do every Tuesday and Thursday at 4:45 Mountain Standard Time or Arizona time, wherever you're tuning in. Same time for about 15 minutes or so, just for me to share a thought or bring a special guest on and further your connection. So if you are tuning into this live, make sure to drop me a hello or a comment or a question in the comment box. I do check that while I'm on live so that I can interact with you. Or you can also catch the replay. So again, today we're going to be talking about this question that's been on my mind of the answer is in your past. And do you believe that the answer is in your past? And when I heard this coach say this to me just the other day in a masterclass, it really did hit a nerve with me because I'm like, you know what? You're right. What I'm doing right now at this very moment couldn't have ever happened had I not gone through that obstacle myself as part of my past. So many of you know, or if you don't and you're just tuning in, you're like, I have no idea who this girl is. I do a lot with personal brand building. As part of COVID, right before COVID, I was really on that speaker trajectory, speaker circuit, doing more professional speaking and live events, and it all bottomed out. So March came around, I had a speaking gig lined up to MC my good friend Joseph Rosales' leadership summit, and overnight everything was gone, everything. And I think that, like many of us, we found ourselves in a very stuck position. COVID knocked us down and we're like, what the heck do I do now? What is my purpose? And I'm speaking a lot to people who are in that entrepreneurial space, who are questioning, like, what is that purpose for me? And oftentimes, as it says in this topic of the day, the question or the answer lies in your past. So I share this a lot in my personal brand builder challenge. I share this when I'm up on stages, when I'm giving my talk on personal brand building, that I really didn't want to have a personal brand. I started in business in 2004 and I had a marketing company followed by an event management company. And then I also ran a mom entrepreneurs mastermind for several years, a membership group, and really had my burnout in 2015 after coming off of a big event. And I remember picking myself back up and hiring a coach, a business coach at the time, who I cried through all of my sessions. And she's like, Tisha, I'm going to share with you the best thing you can do is build your personal brand. And here is why. When you build your personal brand, you are able to pivot without losing the very essence of who you are. If you decide you want to open a bagel shop tomorrow, okay. If you want to shut that down and now you want to be a yoga instructor, okay. But you will never lose sight of who you are once you know who you are and how you project yourself out into the world. And it took me so much to just get behind what she was saying, where it finally made sense. And I started to move in that direction simply to buy myself time and figure out what it is that I really like to do. What do I want to do? So I started going down this personal brand journey route. And eventually, this is where I landed. So when we talk about the answers in your past, many of us are like, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? And sometimes we discount all of those skills, those achievements, those things that we personally had to go through to grow us to get to where we are. And I feel like I'm living proof of that. I know so many people have such tremendous experience, but they're not tapping into those skills, those achievements, those success stories that they already have to then figure out, well, what's my next plan? What's my next purpose? What am I good at? What can I do? How can I help the next person along? So when we talk about the answers in your past, I talked about how COVID kind of wrecked my business. It was totally like, what the heck do I do now? And what I slowly started to realize, I'm like, what have I already gone through that I could help the next person with? And what I could go through, what I can start doing for people is going through the journey that I had with my whole personal branding experience of not wanting to do it, then getting comfortable with it and growing me and challenging me and all of this, and doing the same thing for someone else who was in my shoes several years ago. Several years ago. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Thanks. She said, well said. Hey, Linda, I want to know from you, since you're on with me live, does this make sense to you? Do you feel that the answers are oftentimes in your past? They're part of your past. Where you are now or what you want to do with your life, the past comes in, and it is what you create has a lot to do with where you've come from. It's a lot to do with the struggles you've had, the obstacles you've overcome, the success stories that you've already checked that off. I've been there, I've done that. That is what really shapes you into what you're able to help the next person do. And finding that this is really a topic quite a bit on people's minds, again, about what's their purpose, what's their life plan, what do they do now. And again, I was on this mastermind class yesterday where this was something, the answers in your past, and it really just stuck with me. It stuck with me so much because I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, that's pretty deep. That's really deep. The things that you've done in your past, we should never discount, because those are the things that you can help the next person with. And I'm primarily speaking to those people who are very entrepreneurial minded, who they know they want to run a business, they know they want to do something, they know they want to stand out, they want to give it their heart, they want to put that passion behind it. And ultimately, it's going to come from some experience that you've had in your past that then you can help someone with in the future. What happened in your past that then you can help someone with in the future. And if you're just tuning in, I was sharing the story of how I'm a personal brand builder. That's what I'm doing right now. Was I always doing that? Nope, not at all. Did I want to have a personal brand years ago? Nope, not at all. I was perfectly content hiding behind the company, hiding my identity, not coming out as me, definitely not authentic girl with a touch of badass. I was more like, yeah, I'm going to just hide. It definitely was not being true or authentic to myself. And it stretched me in so many ways when I started to move in that direction. I started to grow in confidence. I started to look at the things that I didn't like about myself that I wanted to change. And those things were, Tisha, you're a straight up people pleaser. And Tisha, you care too much what other people think. Two things that were glaring at me on a personality test that I took that I was like, I don't want to be that girl anymore. I totally don't want to be that girl anymore. And I started to make the adjustments in my life and figure out what those priorities are and how I needed to learn how to say no and have those boundaries. And Linda, hiding seems fun. Yeah, hiding was not fun. Hiding was, who the heck am I? I don't think this is me. And it was a total battle internally with myself of, do I put that girl out today or does this girl come out today? It was not a good scenario. So for those of you who may be suffering from the whole imposter syndrome, which Tisha do I play today? I'm going to say, just be the one Tisha, the one Linda, the whoever you are, be the one person. And that'll make the world of difference. When you're trying to be all of these different things to all these different people, it's just exhausting. It's so exhausting. So back to that story of, going through my own personal brand obstacles, struggles, just that whole, I need to get past this to get here. Now I love that I get to help other people on their journey because they were me years ago. They were me years ago. So I'm just sharing that as just, hey, if you're stuck with, well, what do I do now? And what's that purpose? Think about your past. Think about, what grew you in your confidence? What did you have to go through that grew you? And start figuring out that perhaps parts of your past are what's going to make up your future. Parts of that past are what's going to help you decide what to do next in your life, that purpose. I have a good friend who she hates laundry, and she's actually getting ready to create something because of her need of hating laundry. She's now coming up with an idea to help others with their laundry as well as a business plan. So it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love that idea. So I'm just saying that like some of those things that maybe we had to go through, those obstacles that we face, may be the answer that you're looking for. The things of your past come into your future, and that becomes the answer that you're looking for. So that's what I'm sharing today. This is Tisha Talks Live. I just wanted to give another little shameless plug, if you will, if you're watching, that next Wednesday I am speaking at Arizona State University on their virtual event for the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Department, but anybody is welcome to attend. And it's on the topic of finishing strong. And so if you are in that space of, oh my gosh, the year is almost ending, what do I have to show for it? What do I need to accomplish? You know, this is a really great webinar for you to tap into, to invite your friends. It is a free webinar. I'll put the link in the replay if you'd like to attend that with me. I will be bringing some fun energy and some questions and some strategies and tactics on how you can finish 2020 strong and gear yourself up for 2021. So make sure you put that on your calendar as well. And then tomorrow, my good friend J.K. Shawless has created this whole the Mistress of Divinity Summit. It's a 3-day summit. I'm so happy to be one of the presenters, the speakers that is sharing that. And you can go to, I'll put that link in the replay as well, so that you can grab a free ticket and like just take in all that knowledge. I believe she has 22 other speakers that are coming on board. So it's going to be a jam-packed weekend. And for me personally, I'm heading off to Vegas tomorrow. So I am taking my own note of putting my priorities in place and taking my mother and my best friend to Vegas. So I will be taking the day off, and yeah, that's going to be fun. So I encourage you to take some self-care this weekend. If you haven't yet, if you just need a relax and unplug kind of day, then definitely do that. It's just healing for the soul, and it gets you back on track for the next week ahead. So thanks so much to all of you for tuning in. Linda, always great to see you. And we will see you back next Tuesday. I do have another special guest coming on with me on Tuesday, so make sure you set your time for that at 4:45. Karen, thank you so much. Karen says, we'll definitely plan to be there to support you and get some great nuggets. Thanks, Tisha. Yeah, you know, the stuff I'm going to share, it's stuff that I'm sure every single one of us have heard or come across, you know, through inspirational quotes and books and things like that. But it's a really great reminder of how you finish strong and how you not let overwhelm get you down, to finish those tasks that are on your plate, and to come out ahead. So we'll be going over some strategies and tips and have some Q&A at the end of that ASU session next Wednesday, November 18th. It kicks off at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So that's it for today's Tisha Talks. Thanks again for joining me, ladies, and for people who are on the replay. I will catch you back next Tuesday for another Tisha Talks Live at 4:45. Have a great one. Bye, everyone.